Well, hello there everyone, my name is Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to a thrifted book haul. So there are a couple of charity shops that are on this like big road near me, and there was a charity shop that my sibling drove past and it said book sale in the window. So they were like, Amy, there's a book sale. So I went. I got 7 books for 50 Rand. 50 Rand, 7 books. Are you fucking kidding me? So I was so excited. So I was like, okay, I'm going to film a haul. Usually I only get hauls of books around when my mom comes to visit. But when there's a good sale, like literally these books were 5, 10 or 15 Rand each. That's crazy. So let me show you what I got. The first one I picked up was City of Bones by Michael Connolly. I did check and make sure that I hadn't read this one because I've read a lot of Michael Connolly's. They're just kind of one of my go-to he's one of my go-to thriller authors. If I feel like a book like this with a certain formula and everything like that, I will gladly pick it up. And this is one of his Hieronymus Bosch stories, and the bones of a 12-year-old boy are found scattered in the Hollywood Hills, and then Bosch gets drawn into the case. He's just a comfort type of book for me to gravitate towards, so it's always nice to have one of these on my shelves. Then I got a Daphne du Maurier. Ignore that price, that was the old price. I still need to take all the prices off and journal them and stuff like that. This is a set of all the short stories that she wrote in her entire career. I have 2 others in this. No, I have one other in this style of like reissues that they did. I don't know what the stories are about, but these are all the stories that she wrote throughout her lifetime as a writer. And I love Daphne du Maurier. And they say that they are 14 haunting stories. And I love her haunting ass writing. So yes, very excited for that one. Then I got Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I've never read Mrs. Dalloway. I recently read Orlando for Queer Book Club, and it was freaking incredible. So I think I'm really going to enjoy Mrs. Dalloway. It's about a woman called Carissa Dalloway who is very elegant and vivacious, and she's preparing for a party, and she's remembering those that she's once loved. So she's getting ready for a party and reminiscing, which I don't believe I've never been spoiled as to what happens in Mrs. Dalloway. But yeah, I'm excited to pick up a fun classic. Then I read Breasts and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. I wanted to read this author because I've seen her on Everand a lot. But this is not the type of book that I like to read on audio. This is the type of book I like to read physically. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm definitely grabbing that. That's a sign. And it's about 3 women. One of them is looking, they're all related. It's 2 sisters and one of their daughters. And the one is going to have breast enhancement surgery, and then we switch to 8 years later when they're reunited, and what she's been doing with her life and that kind of thing. Apparently it's about contemporary working class womanhood. So I'm very interested. I like Japanese fiction in general, so very chuffed with that one. Then I picked up Human Croquet by Kate Atkinson. This has been on my list ever since I read my first Kate Atkinson, Life After Life. And this one, it says once it had been the great forest of life, and here in the beginning lived the Fairfaxes grandly at Fairfax Manor, but over the centuries the forest has been destroyed, replaced by the streets of trees. The Fairfaxes have dwindled too, and now they live in Arden at the end of Hawthorne Close, and are hardly a family at all. And then it says that one of the women drops into pockets of time and out again, knows about the past. So I don't know whether that's like a supernatural thing or whether she just like delves into their history. I'm not 100% sure, but very keen for that one. I love Kate Atkinson's writing. It's been a while since I read one of hers. And then the last one I'd never heard of before. It's called The Bookseller's Tale, and I've checked on Storygraph, and apparently it's like a memoir talking about the book industry and working in the bookstore and what it's like and things like that. And I think that's going to be fun. So yeah, that is everything that I hauled. I almost forgot to talk about the library books that I'm going to be reading. So I went to the library and I picked up 3 books. I always pick up 3 books, and one of them is The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. So The Emperor of Gladness is Ocean Vuong's latest one, the one that everyone was obsessed with. Where is it? On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. People absolutely loved. So this is very anticipated. We start off with a 19-year-old boy who's standing at the edge of a bridge ready to jump, and an elderly woman who's developing Alzheimer's manages to get him to stop and change the trajectory of his life. So that's all I really want to know in advance. I think it's going to be heartbreaking because that's what Ocean Vuong does. Then I picked up Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. And this is a family story. It's about 4 sisters who live in an Italian-American neighborhood, and it like delves into the characters of all of these 4 sisters. And then the one called Julia falls in love with William, a history student and college sports star. She's delighted she is delighted that her plans for adulthood are coming to fruition. But when the darkness from William's past begins to block the light of his future, it is Sylvie, not Julia, who becomes his confidant, and ensuing betrayal tears the sisters apart. Goodness, it's slightly different to what I just read at the very beginning. So, interesting. I'm hoping it's not like too much of like a romance. I think it just says it's more about sisterhood, which is better because I don't really read straight romances. And then the last one, Hello Beautiful wasn't on my TBR. The Ocean Vuong, The Emperor of Gladness was on my TBR, and so was this one. This is why I ended up picking this one up. It's about an artist who lives on a remote island, and there is a commune of women who have come from all over the world to be in this commune that's also on this island, and they sort of just live in conjunction with one another. And then she gets an invite to go to this mysterious commune, and then she can find out more about it. So I'm very, very interested to jump into that one. I don't believe I went through that so fast. But that is everything I got at my local thrift shop. Support your local thrift shops. You would not believe how many really good little nuggets are hiding in there. So I hope you enjoyed that. Which one of these books should I get to first? Of course I'm going to get to the library books first, but then from the other books, which one should I get to first? Let me know. Down below is a link for my crochet shop where I sell the things that I crochet, along with my TikTok and Instagram, and a Kofi link, which is a tip jar if you ever want to support my channel. But other than that, like and subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I'll check you next time.